What happens when two of the world's largest economies clash not on the military front but in the economic arena? Welcome to the intricate world of international economics, a battlefield that's just as intense as any war zone. We're here today to talk about a fascinating standoff, the economic tussle between India and China. Now, imagine the scale of this conflict. On one side, we have China, the world's second largest economy, a formidable powerhouse known for its manufacturing might. On the other, India, an emerging economic giant with an exceptional growth rate and a rapidly expanding consumer market. The interactions between these two economies have significant implications not just for them, but for the entire world. Their decisions ripple across global markets, influencing everything from the price of your morning coffee to the stability of your pension fund. So, let's buckle up and take a journey through this complex economic landscape. As we delve deeper, we'll discover how this economic tussle has evolved over time. To understand the present, we must journey into the past. Let's take a step back and trace the timeline of tension in the India-China economic war, a conflict that has shaped and will continue to shape the economic landscapes of two of the world's most populous nations. Our journey begins in the late 90s, when China, with its massive manufacturing prowess, began to flood the Indian market with low-cost goods. This created a trade imbalance that favored China, leaving India grappling with a significant trade deficit. Fast forward to the mid-2000s, we find another pivotal moment. India's burgeoning IT sector rose to global prominence, but China's stringent internet regulations hindered Indian tech companies from making significant inroads into the Chinese market. This further exacerbated the trade imbalance. As we move into the second decade of the 21st century, the tension amplified. Geopolitical conflicts over border disputes started to cast a long shadow over economic relations. In 2017, a military standoff in the Doklam region led to heightened tensions that rippled through their economic ties. Then, the year 2020 arrived, bringing with it a global pandemic and another border clash in the Galwan Valley. These events sparked a wave of anti-China sentiment in India. The Indian government responded by banning hundreds of Chinese apps, including the popular TikTok, and imposing stricter rules on Chinese investments. This marked a significant shift in India's economic strategy towards China. In the ensuing years, the economic war has continued to evolve, shaped by a complex interplay of trade, technology, and geopolitics. In many ways, it's a war of attrition, with both nations seeking to protect their interests while navigating the choppy waters of global economics and politics. These events have marked a trail, leading us to the current state of affairs. The India-China economic war is more than just numbers and trade statistics. It's a reflection of the broader geopolitical landscape and the pursuit of national interests in an increasingly interconnected world. In wars, there are always casualties, but in an economic war, who suffers? Let's delve deeper into the impact of this economic warfare between India and China. The sectors most affected by these economic tensions are diverse and widespread. In India, the technology and manufacturing sectors have been hit hard. The sudden withdrawal of Chinese funding and technology has left a void that is not easily filled. This has led to a slowdown in growth and, in many cases, job losses. On the other side of the border, China's textile and manufacturing industries have also taken a hit. With India imposing restrictions on Chinese imports, factories have been left with surplus stock and dwindling orders. This has resulted in factory closures and massive layoffs in these sectors. But it's not just industries and jobs that are affected. The ripple effect of this economic war is vast, affecting consumers and businesses alike. In India, consumers are grappling with price hikes and a dearth of choices, especially in the technology sector. Chinese smartphones, for instance, which once dominated the Indian market, are now scarce and expensive. Similarly, in China, the absence of Indian pharmaceuticals and IT services, which were once plentiful and affordable, has led to increased costs and limited options for consumers. Businesses, too, are feeling the pinch. The lack of raw materials from China has put a strain on Indian manufacturers, while Chinese businesses are struggling to find alternatives to India's software services. This economic war has also had indirect consequences. The strained relations have led to an increase in xenophobia and nationalist sentiments in both countries, impacting social harmony and international relations. So, who bears the brunt of this economic war? It's the common people, the workers, the consumers, and the small businesses that are left to navigate these turbulent waters. The fallout of this economic war is far-reaching and profound, touching every corner of both nations. With the past and present in view, what does the future hold for India and China? As we look ahead, the future seems to be a painting yet to be completed, where each stroke of the brush will shape the economic relationship between India and China. Potential scenarios seem to swirl like colors on a canvas. Could we see a softening of tensions guided by the hand of diplomacy? Diplomatic efforts could offer the perfect palette to create a masterpiece of mutual benefit, if both nations are willing to pick up the brush. Or perhaps economic reforms will be the driving force, reshaping the landscape of this economic battlefield. A shift in policies, a rethinking of strategies, could pave the way for a future where competition gives way to collaboration. Then there's the role of international pressure. The global community, like an attentive audience at an art auction, watches closely, their reactions influencing the direction of the brushstrokes. The world's response to the economic war between India and China could push the two nations towards a more cooperative future, or it could deepen the divisions. The path forward is uncertain, a blank canvas waiting to be filled. But one thing is clear, the outcome of this economic war will be a masterpiece of global significance. It will have implications not just for India and China, but for the world. The world watches as the brush is poised, waiting for the next stroke on this canvas of the future. The path forward is uncertain, but what is clear is that the outcome of this economic war will have implications not just for India and China, but for the world. In an increasingly interconnected world, economic wars like the one between India and China can have ripple effects across the globe. We've journeyed through the economic battlefield, revisited the timeline of tension, and witnessed the casualties of this war. We've also explored potential paths forward. This economic duel is more than just a tug of war between two giants. It's a complex dance of power and strategy that will shape our future. As we continue to watch this economic saga unfold, one thing is certain: the stakes are high and the world is watching.